Hello, welcome to Prayer Box Ministry Vending, P.B.M. Vending. Today's video I want to talk about the things that I needed to think about and make decisions about when we started this all the way up to go date June 1st. Now, one of the things that I learned when I was in sales, that the approach is critical. You know, the old saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. It's true. So I didn't want to just go out there willy-nilly and start banging on doors. So now I already had the shirts made. I think I showed you those in the first video. So we'll have kind of a uniform already. The next thing is business cards. Business cards are important because they make, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it adds an air of professionalism to your approach. You're not just some homeless guy off of the street. You actually at least went to the trouble to print business cards. So I had one of the girls in the office, and she did an awesome job, by the way, at one of my other jobs. And she designed it. She ordered them online for me from vistaprint.com. And you can get 500 business cards for $9.99, which is what we did. And I think I had to pay for shipping. So for 15 or 20 bucks, I'm going to get 500 business cards, and they look awesome. And I got them glossy at no cost, because when you feel them, it doesn't feel like cheap little paper. It feels like an expensive card, and I want to add that. Another thing I wanted to be careful of, and I'm going to, when Shannon and I go out to make calls, I have to impress on her. See, some of the videos that I've seen is when guys make the approaches, they all say, I have a little vending business, okay? To Shannon and I, this is not a business. This is a ministry. So when we make our approach, we don't want to say we're a business. That's my cards do not say business, and we're not going to use the word business. We are a ministry. We truly are. Neither one of us are taking any money out of this. This is all coming from the ministry up front and then going to the ministry on the back end. Okay, why do I say these things? Well, in order to get the business cards, I had to set up an email account. So I set up an email account. She ordered the business cards for me. And then to me anyway, part of doing ministry work is to give God the glory. The ministry is not about what Shannon and I do. It's not about the achievement at the end. It's about giving God glory. Because God has given us an opportunity to make His ministry self-sufficient and even make money. So we're doing these videos so that people along the way can see that two people setting out to do God's will is going to be blessed. Now, does that mean that it's going to be easy? No. Does that mean we're not going to have troubles? No. But hopefully at the end, if we do our best, God's going to bless the results. And that's what we want to chronicle on video. And I just wanted everybody to know, step by step, everything that we had to look at. So the first thing was the approach. And part of the approach is the business cards and the YouTube channel. So I had to go through and set that up. And trust me, I know nothing about, well, I can't say nothing. I know very little about videos or computers or any of that. So that was quite a challenge to set up this YouTube channel, which, by the way, I guess I didn't say it, but if you'd reach down there and subscribe to our account, that would be great, because we can't give God glory if people aren't watching. So please sit down there and subscribe, and then tell your friends to watch our videos. Okay. Another thing that we had to think about is finances. And as soon as I knew that this was from God, I just went out and, without giving it any thought, bought 2 single machines. The ministry could afford that. Now, I do have expenses in the ministry, okay? We do $400 a month, but I had to completely stop advertising on social media, which is no big thing. I've been winding down from that anyway because I don't like their policies. So it's going to work out fine, but that was one of the things. So we're going to be doing absolutely no advertising for the next 2 years on any social media. There's also other expenses that either I'm going to have to absorb or God's going to have to increase the money to the ministry somehow. I haven't figured all that out yet. But I bought 2 machines a month ago. I just purchased 2 more machines. And then Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to buy 2 more machines, 2 triple heads, because they're going to be on sale at 10 to 15% off. And I only know that because when I purchased the last 2, I asked if they had any sales I couldn't live without, and she told me that that was coming. So at least now I've made arrangements that I know I'm going to have 6 machines in stock ready to go when go date comes. Okay, I still haven't figured this out, but I've seen it done. I've got to calibrate the machine so that they give out the right amount of money, and I need to go buy a weight thing that you can weigh food on, so that I can weigh out how much is an accurate amount to dispense from the machines. It looks like it ought to be pretty simple, but like I said, I'm not handy. So if I get in there and successfully pull that out, reset it, and put it back in, that's going to be an accomplishment. But I do want to do that, but that's one of the things that has to be done, and that has to be done before go date because all the machines have to be calibrated and ready to go. And I do now. I did assemble the machines, and in order to assemble them, especially the 3-head, I had to tear it all apart because you have to screw that down to the flange and put it all back together. So I'm pretty familiar with how it goes. I might when I do that, I might video so you can see what that looks like. So I wanted to, and I still need to learn more about the machines. Sam's Club. Now, wherever you happen to be, I understand that Costco is cheaper on their bulk candy, but we don't have a Costco anywhere around here. So Sam's is where I went. The candy here is a little bit more expensive than it was on some of the videos that I was watching from down in Florida. They were getting their M&Ms for 9 something. They're almost $11 here. But anyway, it can all be reflected in the price. But anyway, I had to join Sam's. That was $100. And in the last video, I talked about the dilemma between regular and plus. Now, another thing that I have to think about, and I think about this every day, you know, when you buy real estate, realtors will tell you there's only 3 things that are important: location, 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 right? That's the second biggest thing when you're getting started at this stage. Once go date comes, that is going to be the number 1 thing. Right now, there's only 3 things you need to know: research, research, and research. I've been watching all the videos I can. I've been building machines, buying machines, watching live feeds. Who is that? Chrome Vending. He does a live call-in thing for an hour or 2. I've watched him listen to all the answers that he's given. I'm looking for little tips to help make life a little easier. Now, a vending license. You're supposed to have a vending license in the state. However, it's my understanding that the vending license is X amount per machine. I don't have any machines placed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and start placing machines. Then, if and when anybody says anything in the first year, I'll plead stupid and go down and get them. But my plan is after the first year, after I've got some machines placed, let's say if everything sticks to plan, I think we're supposed to have 24 machines at the end of the first year. At that point, I will go down and get the vending license. Because I want to do it right, but right now there's really nothing to do because I don't have any machines placed. So the vending license is something we have to think about. You need to look into that in your local area. Another one is an employee ID number. Now, the benefit to that, if you get one, is that you don't have to pay sales tax. And in the state of Illinois, in Springfield, Illinois, sales tax currently is 9.25, and here in a month or two it's going to 10.25. So it's substantial, okay? But I have elected not to do that. And here's why. Because the counter side to getting the 10% is you have to file quarterly taxes. Now, it's not going to amount to anything, and I know that, but I don't want to be distracted. Remember I said in the last video, when it's go day, this is going to be a 2-year sprint. I don't want anything distracting me. I don't want paperwork. I don't want to worry about, did I get my quarterly taxes in on time? I don't want to think about any of that. I'll do my taxes at the end of the year, and I am going to keep accurate books because I'm going to do my taxes, unlike a lot of people. I'm going to do this accurately, above board, and render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. I'm going to do that, and I want to do that. But I'll do it once a year when I do the rest of my taxes. Now, I don't want to do it quarterly. It's worth 10% to me to not be fooled with that. So I've not done that. Insurance. Again, there's really nothing to insure. I have no machines placed. I think if I were into the bigger vending machines, I think insurance would be critical. I mean, moving a machine, you could get hurt. You could hurt somebody's property. A machine could tip over. People could mess with it and get hurt. But when you're talking about gumball machines, I mean, there's not a whole lot that can happen. And bottom line is this. You use insurance to protect yourself and your assets, okay? I have no assets. I live in an apartment. I have a car, but I owe on it. I mean, I've got some money in the bank, but I could have no money in the bank tomorrow. So, I mean, I don't own a home. I don't own rental property. I don't own a whole lot of machines. I just don't have a lot of assets. I don't see the sense in doing the insurance. If later on down the road I find out that, it's a requirement or I have to have it, then I will go do it. But I don't think it's a requirement. I think it's a personal choice thing. But we'll find out. Now, the next thing that I needed to think about was computer equipment. These are, things that you will need to think about purchasing. If you want to do videos, you're going to need, and because of our ministry, I've already got all of this, but you'll need cameras, memory cards, tripods, all of those things, and that costs money. So if you're on a tight budget, you need to think about that and factor that stuff in. And like I was talking about earlier, you're going to need to buy a weight machine, and you're going to have to initially buy candy to put into the machines. You're going to have to buy the machines. So up front, if you could plan a couple of months out, and make the purchases along the way, it's a lot less of a bite. If you've got enough money to just go out and write a check, then by all means do that. One other thing I did want to talk about is how to pay for them. Now, I'm going to be paying cash, but not cash on the barrelhead. I will be buying everything with a Discover card. And here's why. And I've been doing this for, not the machines, but I've been using my Discover card for about 3 or 4 years now to make purchases, because they will give you 1% cash on everything. And then every quarter, they alternate different things. Like 1 month, it's gasoline. You can get 5% back in cash on gasoline. Then for another 3 months, it's restaurants. So for 3 months, you get 5% on every restaurant that you go to. So now let me translate that into cash for you, okay? I said I've done this for about 4 years. I got, the first time I cashed in, I got $200 cash. The second time I got $500 cash. This last time I got $300 in cash. And now I'm working on another $100. And what I've done with that money is I've taken that and I've put it into a mutual fund. So right now I've got $800 or $900 from nowhere. I mean, just $800 or $900. Here you go. For purchases I would already make. Now think about in 2 years, when I get 1% back on all these machines I'm going to buy plus the candy. That's why I'm going to use Discover. Now, the trick to making that work is you got to pay that card off at the end of the month. Otherwise, you're not making anything. The money goes right back to Discover when you make your payments. So to make it work, you put it on the Discover card, pay the bill off at the end of the month. I've been doing that. I'm going to continue to do that as we grow this business. Well, that's about all I wanted to talk about today. Things you need to think about and things you need to plan for as you're getting ready to do your business. Well, that's about it. I'll see you on the next video.